Greetings and welcome to episode 60 of my Empire Total War Darth mod Great Britain campaign. And this, my friends, that we left it last time, where we find ourselves locked, as we have for a number of years, my friends, in a brutal war with Poland, but also now with France, and indeed previously with Russia. But however, Russia has come to its senses here. We are now at peace with Russia. But our main thorn in our sides are indeed Poland and now France. France declared war upon us, but although they had a war previously with Poland, that war came to an end. But as you can see, they both fought each other pretty brutally here, with sort of the high tide mark of that war, with France taking Dresden and Poland moving into Stuttgart here. And that's where the line sort of stabilised, that sort of lopsided line, as you can see, the opposites here, polar opposites of where those front lines ended. Rhineland was under French control, but it was retaken by Westphalia in the long run. But now we are at war with France. But actually, you see here, France isn't as powerful as it could be here on the west. However, if you glance just momentarily, my friends, at continental USA, it controls vast swathes of Canada and continental USA. It really is a powerhouse, a titan here within the New World. It really is. That's where most of its strength, most of its power comes from. Is this it has this massive backbone of power here, massive power base here in the New World. Now Spain is at peace with us for the meantime. How long that will last, who knows? But as you can see here, we do have at the moment open. What have we got here? We've got 3,282 coming in from Sweden. Now, as you can see here, our income here has plummeted quite dramatically here. However, the council did recommend we move this fleet just momentarily here, readjust its position on the line, and oh, look at that! Look at that! I wonder, the raiding really has proved so beneficial towards it, really has. However, we've got Bristol cut off here by this quite sizable French fleet here. Now we do have Glasgow, which is currently still being opened here. Now I would like to get a fleet down to here into Bristol. However, because of the French fleet here in Calais, we cannot move anything down to here at all. As you can see, if we move anything into this location here, it will simply be sunk. And we're not going to waste this fleet here on trying to keep this port open. If this port is hit, then we'll have to just accept that hit there. We're going to try and build this fleet up if possible here. As you can see here, they're going to try and get this fleet. It needs replenishing and repairing, and we don't have the money for it just yet, but we're going to try and bring this up to full strength and start building a little bit more of a fleet. We did lose a fleet all the way down here in the Eastern Atlantic here. It was a terrific fleet, but we lost it. We do have this massive amount here of Polish naval power in the Mediterranean and into the sort of the Atlantic. Now we've got they've moved from the Mediterranean into the Eastern Atlantic here, but that really is going to hurt us quite a bit if they start to descend upon us, especially here. Now, that being said, we do have the Crimea now under our control after a massive fight here with the Russians to wrestle control of it. As you can see, I mean, look at the casualties that were suffered here, specifically by the cavalry, which took the brunt of the battle, really. Look at that, down to 7 men of 38th Horse Guards. But we do have a formidable force here defending of General Savorsky. We do have also here General Ledin, now the military commander of the Crimea. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a rebellion very soon here in the Crimea, but we shall deal with that ruthlessly, sir. We've also tried to chase down the last remains here of this rebellion. The longer it's in the field, the more it'll grow. So in other words, if you don't get rid of rebellion quickly, it will start to pick up additional forces. So as you can see, we've got General Roberts' force here. Oh, look at that, it's exemplary. You will not find a better example of the finest caliber of British troops anywhere, my friends, in this campaign. The sort of the army group around Moscow is the creme de la creme of British forces. It really, I mean, look at that. It's enough to make you weep, sir. It really is. I mean, look at this. We've got General Elizabeth Ernock as well under command here, and look at that for a defensive force. That would take a considerable number of forces to remove these forces from Moscow. At best, it would cost them dear to take that from us. It really would. Now, we do have St. Petersburg here is our sort of linchpin, the anchor on the Russian front here, which is being beset here by quite a powerful Polish force. That is powerful, include winged hussars. But our main problem here is hopefully the Russians don't spill out of this sort of bridgehead they've got here. Now there are a number of Polish forces moving down. But look at the hussars they've got here. That is quite exceptional. They're obviously quite clearly can be moving towards this location here. That's some expensive repairs going on here. Now, if it comes to the crunch, if we need to, we might have to abandon the Crimea in its entirety, because the council has called upon us to make sure that we secure this here against what is a massive insurgency here from the Poles. I mean, they're just absolutely surging through here with massive forces. I mean, look at these forces here they've got at their disposal, and it's almost like there's a limited amount of forces they've got at their disposal. They're able to sort of conjure up full armies here at will. I mean, look at this. Nothing of great quality, but the quantity is vast. Now, this is a force we have fought. We have fought this, as you can see here. It did take quite a beating, and it was this force here that actually fought it. As you can see, this one itself took a thrashing as well during that fight. It was more of a standoff. However, I think we gave them bloody nose here in Bosnia. That's where they sort of pushed away from it. And we do have quite a firm defensive line here, because we sort of protect the Greece here. And we're also moving, and we've got to bring in back Field Marshal Ernok here, commander of all the forces on the Russian front. He's had to be moved back with an exceptional army back to help defend Romalia and Istanbul, which is the anchor of the entire sort of southern redoubt we have here. We've got a pretty powerful force here. Now, I am intrigued to know what the council might think about us raiding this line here. As you can see, France is putting 14,630. If we to raid this with this force, I'm not sure there's anything in the area here that the Poles have in terms of fleet that could really do us any harm. I think they've pulled most of their forces out, so to be able to raid this here, this line here, it might suit us to do that. We've got to be careful. Again, Sweden hasn't really been much of an ally. However, we're hoping they'll be able to do something against against Russia, I beg your pardon, because they are still at war. Even though we're at peace with Russia, they are still at war with them. If they can start to wrap up and sort of roll up a lot of these Russian regions here, it brings them much more into line with our sort of focus, our goal of having a strong ally here that can aid us in our upcoming wars. Maybe even I'm not sure if they've got an alliance. Yes, they've got. No, they're at war with Poland, which is good. Poland does have quite a large fleet there, but again, we're not going to see ourselves here. Hopefully we've got an ally here that can help us. We've got an engineering school being built here, which will give them access to rocket troops, but also give them access to a lot more here. That's excellent to see, it really is. If they could roll up Finland here, it would actually put them on the doorstep of St. Petersburg. We'd have an ally on our back, as it were, which is good to see. Maybe they could even take control of the rest of the Russian states here and regions, and that would really give them a powerful ally at our back. But my friends, I think we can probably end this particular turn here. We're just going to see how things pan out. Actually, I wonder if we can... No, we're trying to run down that there. And I think our research is going well. It is. I think that's the last within this philosophy. Yes, indeed it is. Abolition of slavery, which is excellent. And we're also researching the very last here. The last 3 naval research is being done as well, which will be excellent to see. Top gallants. And those -5 reduction misfires. And reloading time, which is excellent to see. We're trying to catch up there as best we can. We've also got percussion shell, which is here, plus 5 upkeep costs, but still enables percussion shells for howitzers and mortars, which is fantastic to see, especially from here in Istanbul, which is a very much sort of set up to as a defensive force, especially with the blunderbuss shotgunners. What a wonder. Now, we are set fair here. We've got 8. So I wonder if we can, if we pushed our attacks to that there, it would stifle, it would hit growth pretty hard. Yes, it would indeed. So we've got to be careful there. Right, let's end the turn here, my friends, and let's see what happens. Let's see what diabolical schemes the enemies have in for us. That's a lot of French naval power. Spain, I think from Spain. Poland. Why are they moving? No, look at this. They're moving towards the sort of this, right on the brink there, where Field Marshal Unuk has sort of landed his troops. That I think we're going to be seeing quite the push from them here. They're also moved into the outskirts of the Crimea here, hitting the farmlands there, which is fine. We can deal with that. Yeah, this is going to be one massive push here. They've obviously gone. Oh yes, they've hit the Swedes here. Oh, that's a shame. Oh dear, dear me. Where are they going exactly here? Starting to move forces up into here now. Yep. As I suspected. It's Poland that's doing all. Yeah, they can hit our port here, as I suspected here. We can't do anything about that at all. We just got to let that go. We might start raiding the French trade lines there with that force we've got in the Romalia here, that naval force. Russia's starting to move forces away there, but oh, what was that then? What did Sweden do then? Westphalia calling pirates. Ah, look at that! They've already started to gather additional forces here in that rebellion. Bingo! We've got to take care of that. Of this rebellion here, we've got to deal with it, and we shall. First of all, we need to deal with this rebellion here. As you can see, it's starting to gather pace still. Yes. Let's deal with it.
We shall triumph, proud and victorious.
That's more like it. That is over now. That should, yes, it has indeed. It's brought them under control now, just as we wanted. Now that should improve growth. I know the taxes are hitting growth here, but still, yes, I wonder there's should move back.
Impossible, sir.
We need to replenish this force as quickly as possible, just in case. And also this force as well needs fully replenishment as well. We can't get all of them, but still, we'll get the majority of the forces that need replenishing will be replenished. We need to bring this up to full strength here, just in case we see the Poles, which are clearly moving towards us in this regard.
Your lordship.
Look at that there. Why are they gathering? These are gathering for. I mean, look at that Polish force gathering there. In fact, what you will do is you'll bring General Unuk's forces much closer here to the garrison force here. Much closer there. these are already stabilised here, so we've got defences here. General Futcher, Field Marshal Unuk here might take the first brunt here of this attack. It will be quite clearly a massive assault. We might have to abandon the Crimea here, or at least pull back. This force here, but we can't get the naval forces out of here to do so. We'd have to move right the way around here, gather that force in and move it back. We can't lose this force here. We might have to abandon, we might have to leave. That's been brought under control as well, which is good to see. So even if they want to attack the Crimea, then so be it. We do have General Ladin here guarding the Crimea. I think we're going to pull this force back and move it back into here to sort of bridge this gap here on the road here, because quite clearly they're gathering up to attack in a massive way here. I think having this army just standing here, especially such a powerful force, twiddling its thumbs here waiting to deal with these, that's not any good to us. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this force, this fleet here, or this ship. What we are going to do then is we're going to bring them back to here.
Yes, Your Majesty. Set sail. Jump to it and look lively. Foraging supplies. Ready and awaiting orders.
Now, there's a good chance they're going to be attacked here as they step off the,
Ready
of
for
the
action. Lord.
So what we might do then is just move General Field Marshal Unuk here to support.
By the left. Make ready. Where to, Captain?
We do need this. We do need this ship here. Just actually, we'll put it out of the way up here. Actually,
I cannot do that.
now should we raid this here? That's the key question. That's a sizable fleet they've got there, but is it enough to deal with this fleet here? I don't think so. I think what we might do is we're just going to raid this here. That's more like it. That's really battered the French here. Look at that. The French have their income has sunk like a stone. If they want to fight, then we'll oblige, sir. We will oblige. Now, if they move forces to attack us here, we will escape and withdraw from that.
Orders, Captain.
For the moment, we're going to attack this here and just raid this trade line here, draw money off them. We had to pull this force back here. It's quite clearly going to be a strike from this position here against us. So we've had to pull Field Marshal Unuk's force back here as well. Combined with this force, that's a very powerful force we've got here. We've also got additional forces moving in from here as well. There's nothing we can do here. We're being raided pretty aggressively here, but if we can get this fleet up to a decent amount of strength, my word, that would be an absolute wonder. It really would. But how do we get those fleets from here? Because as you can see, they've got this here. We'd have to besiege this port here to be able to get those fleets out here, and we want to get them to here, so we want to try and build this fleet up here if we can to a decent, maybe to almost a full fleet, and that would be sort of our reassurance here. We could then maybe besiege this port here and deal with these gentlemen one by one, but that's in the future. Oh, look at that, they have taken Finland. Well, I'll be. Now that is a good sign. That means we are weakening the Russians here bit by bit, although they've got a massive sort of amount of the Middle East under their control. If we can take the north from in this entirety, maybe if Karelia falls, then that would pretty much see us secure here and see Sweden strengthening quite aggressively. And these will all be converted into economic buildings as well. But we've got to be careful what they're doing here with these forces here. What if we move that off there? Just let's have a quick look what happens. My word. reliant upon that. So reliant upon that. It is scary. I wonder if we could hit this up here. Mind you, we need to get that to full strength. Right, let's see what happens here, my friends. Let us see what happens. Let's see what response comes. I wonder if we can, maybe, can we get peace with France here? I'm not sure. No, they're not interested at all. Russia is very hostile with us. I don't think we'll get peace with Poland at all, to be honest with you. No, they're not interested whatsoever, which is absolutely fine. Let's end the turn here. Let's see what comes our way.
Anything more?
Anything more, sir? Looks like they're raiding our schools to try and steal from us. Spain, what will Spain do? Poland. Now they're pulling away here. An interesting premise. Even if they just leave us alone to stabilise, just as if they want to raid, if they want to hit a few of our ports, that's absolutely fine. If they come for us here, yes, I absolutely knew it. They're going to go all the way around and join there. That's absolutely fine. We strengthen their grip here. Now they're pulling away. I'd love to strike against Poland, I really, really would. But they can't go any further. Moving for the Crimea. They go, no, they're going to go for Moscow. Russia is pulling away. Come on now, Sweden. Come on now, Sweden. Venice, Westphalia, pirates. That's absolutely fine. We're going to let them do what they want to do here. We've got 15,000 here. Now let's bring these gentlemen up to full strength. Excellent.
Your orders, Your Majesty. Your Majesty. Troops, forward!
Now that's going to become that's going to take a while for that to get to where it needs to be. We've clearly got Polish forces moving towards Moscow here, and they're sending quite powerful forces to do so as well. That's not a problem here either. They've hit that there. Let's bring that up to full strength. Let's make a stand here. Now they've drained the forces. No, they haven't. They've left the forces here. Eventually that'll become under our, this is going to stay under our control here. We don't mind this, but they clearly sent this force here to try and get Crimea. So they're going to try, and that's a powerful force they've got there as well. So this is going to be quite the fight. We've got plenty of cannon though, and plenty of cavalry as well. So we will just make a stand. We're not going to be backing away here. Not by any means. Now, oh yes, they're at full strength. That army's now at full strength. Excellent to see. What does it need? Probably an additional cavalry unit will actually will serve us well there, I think. And what about this force here? Yes, I think an additional cavalry force. Two of those there. I think we're also going to start to look at our fleet situation. Oh, HMS Victory. If you would please, sir. Thank you very much.
Your orders, Your Majesty. Make ready. March!
It's absolutely fine. We can expect raiding to go on for a long time yet. But it's quite clearly going to be a battle here for the Crimea. We have reinforced this quite drastically here.
Ready for orders. Sir, Your Majesty.
We don't want to overstep the mark here in terms of what we can do. I'm going to try and keep a bank here of money if possible, just in case things do go a little bit belly up here for us. Can't get any other specialities, I don't believe, of ship. I might get a carronade frigate, that would be... 5 powers 139. I wonder if some carronade frigates might do us well here, might serve us well. Because they seem like very potent ships indeed. I know the council have recommended we actually go for some I'll put some carronade frigates here, some more power, sort of some oomph in the battle there. Actually we won't do it just yet, we'll keep that money just in case. Because Poland I think is starting to gear up towards hitting us here. Look at that, they're starting to build up this fleet here. They got the bomb catch as well here. To get this naval force up to some kind of strength here. Right. I think that's all we can do at the moment. We're just waiting here now, and this is a waiting game, but we could move against them here, but we don't know what's here.
How may I be of service?
We need more intel, so we're going to move back. We're going to move back to here. We've definitely got additional forces moving against us here. They've got a plethora of troops available to them. Right, let's end the turn, my friends.
Any further orders? Waiting for orders.
What will France do? Spain, Poland. What will you do, sir? Yeah, they're quite clearly gathering towards something here. They're hitting all of the outer Moscow cities and villages. I'll be damned if we'll move from this. We shall not move, sir. But they're starting to gain strength here now. just stay away, sir. Here they come towards Moscow. There it is, sir. There it is. Come on, Sweden. What can you do, Sweden? What will Sweden do? Just Sweden, what will Sweden do? Come on now, Sweden. Venice. That's absolutely fine. It's slowly starting to come under control here. So food shortages. We can expect to take, good grief, we can expect to take quite a number of hits here, especially in the outskirts and the outer lying areas. We're not going to move at all. Sweden is starting to grow now in strength, which is good to see. And they're starting to recruit. But only sloops. Ah.
Anything more?
Now we can hit Darth with one additional force here.
Yes. Ready. Hot.
We shall take out
Your humbles. Ready and awaiting orders, Lord.
these two here.
Ready and waiting for orders.
We'll just place these, I think we'll put these just behind the lines here.
Forward.
We've got a powerful group here. We could move against Poland here and deal with these, because they're able to put together a very strong strike force here. We do have a very good bank here of, but I think we have to deal with this here before anything else. Oh my goodness me, they've brought the absolute, some wonderful forces here. They've just brought the absolute apogee of forces. It's going to be a brutal fight for us, it really is. But one we're going to have to take this fight. We are a little bit difficulty, I think, here, my friends, and they're quite clearly gearing up. Is that now at full strength? Yes, it is, thankfully. Now what we will do is we also begin to add another ship here to the fleet. Again, trying to keep a solid bank here.
Yes, my lord. Prepare for battle.
And also just shift these around. We don't want to miss anything here at all.
Where to, Captain? That's land, sir.
They could be looking to try and move against this fleet here. And if they do, we shall be ready, sir. We can't actually recruit anything from here either. Because of course it's being besieged. Right. I don't think there's anything else we can do here, my friends. This army's almost at, I think it's at full strength. Ah, that's why. Just the gentleman to do, and then we're at full strength here, because we're going to be hit here. It is quite obvious we're going to be hit here. We can hold. I wonder if we can get peace with Poland for the Crimea, because I'm willing to give that up for peace, just to give ourselves a little bit of. Doesn't look like we can give that up. Hungary, we got Greece. We can't give that up at all. No, they're just not interested in that at all. So we have to make a stand. We're going to have to make a stand. It's as simple as that here. I just want to get as much money as I possibly can in the bank before things really hit the, really go badly wrong here, because we do need to push out against the Poles here, but we can't. See, we're in a sticky situation here. We don't have the forces. We've got the forces to push back against them, but not to the extent that we need.
Seeking cover.
We need to know what's here. If we know what's here, we might be able to move these two forces out here and move against them here and against Bosnia, leaving these to defend. I could push it back against these here, but then they would simply unleash this force against us. So again,
Your Majesty.
I think what we will do is we'll just move out. We'll move General Savorsky here to sort of strengthen this line here. So we've got this strong line here connecting each other, defending. And we'll have one last turn here, my friends. And what we'll do is probably end this episode with this. So the next battle we have is this. Now that's an even fight here. How they do outnumber us by roughly about 500 men here, but that doesn't really count. We're in a settlement fortification here, but we'll have to probably move out against them in some way. They do have some splendid troops here in terms of guards and marines. They do have 24-pounder howitzers, but 12-pounder howitzers are here. Not much artillery. We outgun them in terms of fire support, and I would also say we probably outmatch them here with our cavalry. They probably have the upper hand in terms of their number of elite troops, but I would put our troops here against them any time. But that's the battle we're going to take next episode, my friends. I do apologise for the shortness of this episode, but I have been quite busy of late, my friends. I do have additional work to finish. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. It's more an episode building towards hopefully holding the Crimea. If we can hold the Crimea, we might be able to offer it to the Poles as peace. I'm not sure if France would take it, to be honest, but quite clearly Poland wants the Crimea, so we can offer it as peace for them after this battle. If we give them a bloody nose, it might give them a second. They might give them second thoughts about attacking again. But we might have to abandon the Crimea in its entirety, because if we keep sending troops down to the Crimea, eventually they will take the Crimea by force. It's as simple as that. we are struggling, my friends, so quite massively in this campaign, to be honest with you, and our options are shrinking quite fast. So it is more of us waiting to bide our time until we get the troops in place we need to be able to strike back against them. That's going to take a long time, but my friends, we're not going to give up just yet. We're not going to give up just yet. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode, my friends. As always, please keep your comments coming down below. Your advice and your plans are much needed now, my friends. It really, really is. I really do need your help now. But anyway, whatever you're doing, my friends, please be safe. And thank you for all your wonderful support as well. But until next time, bye for now.